Spring camp is going on for the Red Raiders, but it doesn't look like they want to be done adding to the roster just yet. In today's video, we'll talk about the report as the Red Raiders are going after one of the premier edge rushers in this portal class. Who is it, and just how would he fit into the Texas Tech defense? That and much more. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, and I know Texas Tech basketball has been the priority here on the channel, and rightfully so. That Elite Eight run was a ton of fun, although the ending was definitely heartbreaking. But Texas Tech football, we discussed it a lot when they were going heavy in the portal. Now spring football is here. You're hearing some names that are stepping up, and Texas Tech doesn't look like they're done potentially adding to the roster, at least wanting to add to the roster. And we'll discuss the big name that they are currently going after in the portal. If you're new here, we appreciate you tuning in. If you're, a consistent viewer, we appreciate you as well. This is the Back to 12 podcast channel. We talk about Texas Tech football, men's basketball, whether it's on the hardwood, the gridiron, or in the portal. We've got you covered right here, 100% free, and we appreciate you tuning in. All right, let's get right to the news. Enough with the promo bullcrap, right? Let's get right into it. This was a bomb from Pete Nakos, as well as some other guys in the industry, 247, that Stanford edge transfer, David Bailey, is currently visiting Texas Tech. A source tells On3 he has totaled a, whopping 14 and a half sacks in his career. He is going to be a junior this upcoming season. Now, I do want to preface some things here. There are other schools heavily going after David Bailey because a guy of his talent typically doesn't become available in the portal this late in the process. Now, you might be asking yourself, RC, why is he available this late in the process? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can see it on your screen right there. Stanford actually fired their head coach. Funny enough, their GM, Andrew Luck, you may remember him from his time at Stanford, where he was obviously great, went on to be the number one overall pick for the Indianapolis Colts. Don't like him as a Titans fan, but I digress. Anyway, it sounds like he may have been the first GM in college football history to actually fire a coach, and that opened the 30-day window for players to enter the transfer portal immediately. Star defender David Bailey, as you can see on your screen, is the first notable player to take advantage of the opportunity. Now, just how good is David Bailey? Again, he's 6'3", 240. He is a junior at Stanford. He was a top 100 prospect out of the powerhouse Mater Dei out in Santa Ana, California, before he signed with Stanford, where he started immediately out there. I mean, he's a star. I don't know any other way to say it. In all, Bailey has played in 33 games with 16 starts. Over his 3 seasons on the farm, Bailey was credited with 91 quarterback pressures. So you can do the math there. In about 3 seasons, what does that average out to? Anyway, 15 total sacks, 75 tackles, 7 forced fumbles in this past year on the farm at Stanford was his best yet, posting 7 sacks, 39 quarterback pressures. You read that correctly. 39 quarterback pressures and 5 forced fumbles. Now, where does he rank in terms of this portal class? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can see it on your screen right there. As a transfer, 247 Sports transfer rankings has David Bailey as the 10th overall player in this portal class. Okay, 10th overall player, 3rd best edge. Now, if we go in and look at some of the names that are ahead of him, you've got the Isaiah Worlds of the world. Well, that was not meant to be a pun, but here we are at this point in time after I made it. And you see some guys there that obviously stand out, right? Texas Tech lands a couple of these top players as well. We'll go down the list. You can see David Bailey is a top 10 player in this portal class, right? He is a guy that, as I get back on the screen here, would make a instant impact for Texas Tech. I am having all kinds of dirty dreams right now, thinking about Romello Height on one side of the pass rush and David Bailey on the other. And then you've got Lee Hunter in the middle there. You've got Holmes in the middle there. You've got Skylar Gill-Howard in the middle there at DT. Duda Banks, right? Other guys as well. Like, we knew Texas Tech was going to go into the portal and be aggressive. Did we know they were going to be this aggressive in terms of landing arguably the best portal class in the portal era? I don't think anybody did, but shout out to the I Will man himself and other donors and Cody Campbell there racking up the money for the Red Raiders. Overall, though, this shouldn't be surprising that Texas Tech is going after another legit impact player. This was something that Joey McGuire discussed numerous times that, hey, we're going to add to this roster if we think it is a true difference maker, even going into spring, for the sheer standpoint of you can never have too many high-quality players. He actually sat down with Josh Pate. I recommend you go listen to the interview, and he talked about how on the defensive line, they think there's going to be 3 new starters. That shouldn't be a shock to anyone. But then also in the secondary, there's going to be potentially 3 new starters. This revamped defense has some serious star power, right? And they're not done yet in terms of if they think they can go get a guy that is an instant impact and really difference maker on the edge. Now, does David Bailey have his flaws? Absolutely. He struggles a little bit in terms of run defense. But you heard the pressure rate that he gets on these quarterbacks. He had 39 quarterback pressures last year. 39. That is absolutely just mind-boggling in terms of how consistently he was getting pressure on the quarterback. Now, will that translate to Texas Tech if he decides to wear the scarlet and black? Who knows? But I tell you this, I don't know if he's played with the amount of talent that he would potentially play with on this Texas Tech defensive line. And doesn't that sound kind of crazy? We're talking about a Texas Tech defensive line that was, I don't know, pedestrian at best last year. I mean, if the secondary was awful, I think we got to call the defensive line pedestrian, right? You've overhauled it. And now you're continuously going out and pinpointing high-level guys that can potentially make a difference, specifically on the edge. That was the big gripe with me in terms of this great portal class. I wish they would have added just one more edge. If they add a guy in David Bailey who is listed as an outside linebacker, he can drop back into coverage, but his special trait is getting after the quarterback. I don't know how you can complain about what Texas Tech is doing right now. And again, it seems like there may be another visit or two lined up for David Bailey, but it is confirmed that he is out in the 806 as you are hearing this right now on Monday, March 31st, That is when he is on a visit to Texas Tech. It's going on in terms of spring camp. This is a prime time for him to be out there, get to know the coaches, and make a decision before that summer semester opens up and he transfers and tries to get ready for fall camp wherever he decides to go. But Texas Tech has had a really, really good track record of once they get guys on campus that they want, they typically sign them. Will it be different here with David Bailey? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. If they can somehow get him, that is a huge addition for the Red Raiders, and it is one that I didn't see coming, to be honest with you. When I saw that Texas Tech was connected to him, I'm not shocked that they reached out, but to actually get him on campus is something else entirely. Texas Tech is all in. We knew that, but they may have just put a couple more chips in, stole it from somebody to the right of them, and was like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll pay you back when this works out kind of deal. David Bailey, again, a really, really good player, is on campus for the Red Raiders right now. He is a star transfer from Stanford. There are also Big Ten and SEC schools in the mix for him, but it is critical and a really good sign that Texas Tech got the first official visit for the star edge for the Cardinal. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you can't tell, I'm pretty excited about David Bailey. If Texas Tech can land him, going to get me excited on a commitment video here on the channel. There's no doubt about that. If you want 100% free and 100% authentic Texas Tech takes all year long, whether it's on the gridiron or the hardwood in the portal, anything in between, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans, over 11,800 strong. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. Again, if you're new here, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to join the Back to 12 squad today. And as always, stay safe and Wreck 'em Tech.